Hey friend, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share with you how I became a consultant data scientist, what is a consultant data scientist, and how you can become one as well. Let me tell you a little bit about my background. I did a master's in engineering and I decided to shift into computer science. I did a master's in computer science in the UK, and then I became a data scientist. Many people go directly through a bachelor's in computer science, then they specialize in data science. Other people, they come from different technical backgrounds and then they shift to data science from within their work environment, or they agree with their employer and they end up shifting into data analysis and doing more data science work. So whatever your journey, if you have the data science skill, then you can become a consultant data scientist. So what is a consultant data scientist? A consultant data scientist works as a consultant and can work for multiple different companies. It's like a freelancer if you want. You can work for different companies, for different industries. There is a little bit of risk attached to it because you can work on many projects. If you have projects coming your way, that's amazing. But if you don't have that security that a full-time job gives you. So the way a consultant would work is either via short contracts from 3 to 12 months, I would say, or via freelancing per project. So that's how a consultant would work. So how did I become a consultant in the first place? When I was in university studying for my computer science degree, I already had a little bit of experience as a data scientist prior to that in my home country in Morocco. So what I did is that I started an Upwork account because I believed that was the best one, and one of my friends was doing really good on that platform. So I started on there. I struggled to get my first jobs. I kept applying, but couldn't get anything. Obviously because no reviews. I had just barely a few months of experience in my field. So what I did is I asked that friend, I asked my girlfriend. They both created a project for me, like a fake kind of project. They paid me for the work. Obviously, I sent them back their money. So I already had 2 5-star reviews, a little bit of money in there, and it was a little bit easier to start talking to people. So I advise you when you just start out, find a few friends or family that can do this with you. This is not cheating because no one wants to speak to someone with 0 reviews, 0 projects, 0 hours worked. It's just the way it is. So when you do that, you just give yourself a little bit of a head start. So that's a little bit of a cheat code, but it helped me a little bit at the beginning have those conversations with people. Also, what I did is that I showcased some projects. I had some university project, I had some prior experience that I showcased as well, and I was trying to make sure to over-communicate it, because when you apply for projects, especially on Upwork, you have to showcase why your skills are relevant for the specific project. So anything that I've done before, I was trying to link it into data science. If I worked on a project before, for example, I had a musical event company in Morocco before, I didn't do much of data science work in there, but I did analyze number, I did some social media campaigns. So I was trying to take all that knowledge that I had and make it relevant for data science. And that's how when I was sending proposals, I was getting higher responses, even for smaller jobs at the beginning, but I had those conversations with people where I tried to convince them that I was the right person for the job. And this is more applicable for beginner data scientists. If you're more advanced, obviously you have projects and it should be easier for you to showcase them on GitHub or even via communication. People can see through you that you have experience or not. My next point is to be a good communicator, and that's something that helped me a lot. I'm not scared to speak and I'm not scared to share my thoughts, and it's always good to over communicate, especially when you want to get a job. Over communicate, because an employer, before spending money, they don't mind reading a little bit more because they want to pay for someone who is good. So spend a little bit of time and tailor your message or your proposal to that job or freelance role or contract or consulting opportunity that you get to that specific job, so that you can give yourself more chances to have a conversation with the person, and then you'll try to convert it into a project for yourself. Also, a very important thing is the willingness to put a lot of effort beforehand. So that's the thing with consultants, is that sometimes you'll have to showcase that you're good for the job before starting the job. It's not like going through interviews, usually for a traditional job, and then you do some technical exercises and things, and when you get it, you're there. When you're a consultant, sometimes you have to showcase the ability to perform in a specific industry. I remember 2 very good projects where I worked with a recruitment company based in London and another one a tech company based in Sweden, the one I work with right now. I spent nearly 8 to 10 hours working on a project case for them. They didn't tell me to do it per se, but I did it. And because I did it, and I think I was one of the only ones who took all that time to do it, they gave me the opportunity to work with them. And that's what you should do. I'm not saying to do it with everyone. So what I do, I apply for a job. If I get a positive response, I speak back and forth with the person. If I see there is interest and they give me a data set or something just to have a feel of what I can do for them, then I go all in. I'm like, okay, I got the interest of that person. They spoke to me, they gave me their data or a subset of their data. Now I need to show them that I am the person for the job. And I am sure that people that applied there had way more experience than me, but they didn't spend as much time as I did. So sometimes being willing to put in the effort beforehand, because I wasn't paid for it. I could have spent 10 hours and just not get the job, but I did. And that's something I'm really happy about. What about the pay? How much a data science consultant earns as a consultant? I would say it depends. When I just started, I worked per project and I wasn't really paid well. I took on projects for $800, $2,000 what I worked like long hours. Nowadays I work for between $30 and $50 an hour, but I only have 3 years of experience. I know people that earn $70 an hour, and there are others I see on Upwork that earn $150 per hour. So it really depends on your experience, but my advice is to not diminish from your work. When I started, I took on a few projects because I needed those reviews, but my friend told me that no, don't reduce your prices, just keep them high, because usually employers value that. Because when they see someone put in $5 and one put in $50, even though you might have the same experience, but it's automatic in our brains that the person with $50, you just think that they will do a better work. It's just the way it is. So that's what I did. I kept $50. I got an opportunity to work for $50. Then I got another one for $40. And nowadays I'm working in a full-time consultant contract for 1 year for $30 an hour. So which platforms can you use? I would say it depends on your experience. LinkedIn is great. If you have a good LinkedIn profile, you share content, you might get some opportunities from there. I did once, and I'm still working on it to start getting more and more from there. There is Upwork, as I did, really good platform. You have to filter a little bit the noise because it's a little bit noisy. It's any freelance platform. I heard Fiverr, Freelancer, but I never used them, so I won't speak about them. I heard really good things about TopTal, but TopTal requires 3+ years of experience to get into the platform, and it's a little bit more difficult to get there, which makes it even more interesting. And that's one that I aim to get to this year or next year. So is being a consultant the way forward for me? I would say that yes, because it gives me the freedom to choose my projects, and I can work on multiple projects. I can gain experience in multiple industries, which makes me more valuable in the long run. Yes, it's good to work for one company for 10 years if you want to, but as a consultant, you can work with 30 different companies within 5 years and 30 different industries and learn a bunch of things. You can sometimes specialize a little bit in something. Like I've been working a lot with tech and recruitment. Somehow they just happen to pop up, and that gave me an edge when I'm applying for those kind of data science roles. So is it the way forward? I would say yes, but obviously if you're more comfortable with a full-time job, just go for it. This is not me telling you what to do. This is just me sharing my own journey with you. If you're one of those people that struggle to make time for important things when you have a full-time job, I made a video just here where I walk you through how I make time for things that really matter to me, personal and professional, even with a full-time job. Give it a watch.